One. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Nerdgazim Hour. I am your host, Travis Jones. We are live at San Diego Comic-Con. No, we're not. Shit. It would be a dream of mine to say that to you one day. I mean, let's make a lofty goal. You know, you don't want to shoot too far, and that's probably shooting too far, let's be honest. But, you never know, man. I might have a show one day, at the Comic-Con. That would be awesome. But, thank you for joining in. Periscope viewers, thank you for joining in. My YouTube subscribers, YouTube viewers, thank you. Man, I know the show's a little late, but holy shit. All kinds of stuff going on this week. San Diego Comic-Con's happening. Shit is dropping like hotcakes this week. I'm excited, super stoked. And I also want to let you know that there was a recent poll done, and we are polling. The show is actually polling number one with cats. We're the number one show for cats. I had a viewer let me know that, and he was upset because Friday there was no show and his cats were upset, so I apologize. I hope the cats are enjoying the show tonight. But no, really. The show's basically been delayed because I've been watching the Batman vs. Superman trailer for like 2 days now. I can't get enough of it. I'm trying to find Easter eggs and everything. If you haven't seen it yet, go to the, Facebook page. Nice segue into that, by the way. I do have a Facebook page now. The Nerdgazim Hour, with a G, Nerdgazim is spelled with a Z and not an S. So please get on there, like the page, set up for notifications. I'm posting stuff from San Diego on there as soon as I see it. I think it's relevant. I'll post it. We're going to have a lot of discussion about that today. I have a huge stack of books. Check this out. Boom! Boom, bitches! Bunch of books. Some really good stuff, some stuff that was so-so, some stuff that I'm not sure about. So, again, for new viewers, I want to, convey the goal of this show, and that is that there's many people that came up to me, they had no idea what to buy. They love comic books, they've really gotten into the movies, the TV shows. This is a nerd's nirvana right now. This is the golden age of anything nerdtastic. This is what it's driving Hollywood. It's driving the toy industry. It's driving the video game industry. This is the big time, man. I mean, I'm seeing pillowcases, garbage cans, toothbrushes, razors, for God's sake, that are superhero related. So what better time to be a nerd or a geek than right now? So, again, I want to welcome everybody to the show. An overview. I got book reviews, a bunch of them. I'm going to go through them fairly quickly, but that is the reason for the show. I want you to have a heads up when you go to your comic book shop and you don't know what to buy. I want you to know, like, oh, that crazy bearded guy was talking about that. Man, that sounded like something I might like. I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to roll craps on it. I'm going to give it $3. If I don't like it, then I won't buy it again, and the bearded dude's an idiot. So there you have it. We're going to talk about some Sdcc stuff. I went and seen the Terminator Genesis movie. I'm going to give you my little recap, little overview of that. We're going to talk a few video game things, some Marvel Avengers Alliance stuff's going on. Future Fight. I want to talk about Future Fight because I have not done that yet, and I have been playing it, and I wanted to give it some time to marinate on me, to soak in the Future Fight greatness that it is, I think. And then we're going to go over some other stuff. But let's get started, man, because we got a lot of stuff to talk about. First, I want to shout out. I want to shout out to Comics Jacked Facebook group. Thank you guys. I know a lot of you guys support the show. I love you for it. Thank you. If I ever go to CDC, you guys are going to be some of the first guys I take with me. I've got a list. Trust me, I got a list, and I'm checking it twice. Another group I want to mention is the Marvelites on Facebook. It's a Facebook group. It basically deals with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. If you want to know what's going on, who's being rumored for roles, who's casting for roles, who made a tweet while they were sitting on the toilet about wanting to play the Beyonder, that they're going to have it on there. These guys, I don't know how they do it, but it's a great site. They get it as soon as it comes out. Please look at it. Please join it. I'm an administrator. Brett's another administrator. We'll get you in there. Okay. So that's something that you want to look at. All right. Oh, and, from the Helicarrier. Well, I'm going to get to you guys in a minute, but another great site for the Marvel's Avengers Alliance game. I want to give him a shout out. Epic Boss McFall. I've been in contact with him. He's giving me feedback on the show. Greatly appreciated. Anybody that has feedback for the show, I don't give a shit who you are. Please get on the Facebook page, get on the Instagram page, get on the Twitter page, get on the email. Email me, Nerdgazim@gmail. Hit me up, man. Please let me know what's going on. All right. We got to get to this, man. So I'm trying to condense a lot of stuff I'm going to talk about today. All right. 2 books. The first ever. This is the first premiere of a 2-book review that I'm going to do. Cause you guys know when I went to Mexico a couple weeks ago, I kind of got backed up on books. So some of these books are from the past week that I didn't get to in the last show. So I want to talk about these books, and I'm going to start out with DC today, which is a rarity. I usually don't start out with DC because there's not a whole lot to talk about, let's be honest. But I think that's going to change soon. All right. I got Injustice number 5. And Injustice number 4. All right. We're going to start with Injustice number 4. All right. And just to let you know, I love the Injustice line. It's an alternate universe, or an alternate timeline reality, whatever you want to call it, than what we're used to. Several people are gone. This is year 4. Years 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's like 10 or 12 books in each year, I believe. I think I'm correct on that. Been a lot of deaths. Nobody is safe in this universe. Nobody is safe. Superman has gone off the rails, due to some tragedy that he's had in his life. He vowed to never let it happen again. He's kind of let it get the best of him. And our boy Bats, he's battling him. He's created a resistance. They've been fighting, battling. There's been losses on both sides. Batman is kind of, he's at a crossroads. He needs to make a move. He's running out of options, and he feels like this is the only option he has left. So he basically makes a deal with Ares, the god of war, okay, to say, hey, look, I need you and your people to help me out with this. The gods aren't really liking what Superman has done either, because for one thing, they feel like they're being usurped, that their authority is being challenged because he's basically running domain over everything. They don't like that. Gods don't like that for some reason. I don't know. I don't talk to them any much, but I got a feeling they're all kind of dicks when it comes to stuff like that. So they don't like Superman doing this. So they're pretty much eager to help. I think they were going to intervene anyway, but Batman makes a deal with Ares, and there's a huge battle. Well, I take that back. I'm getting ahead of myself. That's the next issue. The armies of Wonder Woman, the Amazon warriors, Thermisica, or I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. I know I am. But you know what I'm talking about. The homeland of Wonder Woman. The Amazon warriors come, and they're like, cut it out now, step down, or we're taking you out. Well, Wonder Woman's like, whoa, what are you talking about? What are you doing? My mother would never sanction this, but she did. I try not to give spoilers away on the show, especially with comic books, because I want you to be as surprised as I am when I read them. So there's some machinations going on that you'll just have to read about, how this came about, but it's true. And then Superman's looking at Batman like, you bastard, and Batman's like, hey, you brought this on yourself. This wasn't me. This was them. I just kind of jumped aboard the train. So basically Wonder Woman knows there's one way out of this. So she doesn't have to kill her own brothers and sisters. She says trial by combat. Okay. Now, Batman, being the crafty bastard that he is, he's like, okay, trial by combat. We choose Superman as our champion, because you can choose anybody. That's the rules. So at the end of the issue, we've got this battle brewing between Superman and Wonder Woman. Now, I was kind of like, yeah, I'll still take Superman, right? Well, you might not want to after the end of the issue. No spoilers, because there's only part of the fight that takes place. That's issue 4. Issue 5 is the continuation of this fight. And there's some intervention, there's some rule breaking. It's a big fight scene, basically. So if you ever wanted to know who was going to win between Superman and Wonder Woman, it's not definitive by any means what battle really is in comic books, let's be honest, but it's pretty damn close. So, Injustice, if like I said, it's not canon. It's kind of its own universe to itself, but it's really, really good stuff. I really like it. I'm always kind of shocked, and I'm always like, oh, I didn't even know that could happen. So, really good stuff. Check it out. The trades are available. Years 1, 2, and 3. 4 is the newest stuff. It's not out yet on trade yet. And when I say trade, I mean trade paperback. It's kind of a collection of multiple issues. So check that out. All right. The next book we have, man, one of my favorites, Masters of Kung Fu. All right. Now, listeners of the show know that I'm a big martial arts nerd. This book is probably unlike anything you're going to read in the superhero genre. It's Shang Shu, which is, Master of Kung Fu. His dad is the despot ruler of the domain in Battle World, and we all, if you don't know what Battle World is, hit me up. I talk about it almost every show. It's the thing going on in the Marvel Universe right now. So his father's the despot. Iron Fist is the ruler of Kunlun. And in this domain of Battle World, Shang-Chi's dad runs Kunlun, which is the domain. He's kind of like the sheriff. Shang-Chi was accused of killing the previous leader. There's a big tournament every year. It's called the 13 Chambers. I always think of Wu-Tang Clan when I think of 13 Chambers. I think it's kind of cool. But it's, they do that battle, and the winner takes right of the throne. Okay? So Shang-Chi has got him a school. It's many people from the Marvel Universe that you'd recognize, just different incarnations of them. Kitty Pryde being the main dominant one. But he's like, I'm their master. You gotta let a master enter the 13 chambers. I'm battling you, and I'm gonna take you out. So his dad doesn't want him to fight in it, but he's like, he can't deny him. So what he does is he basically runs Shang-Chi through the gauntlet of different rulers of schools throughout the domain. Now, I don't want to spoil it because some of them are really cool. A couple of them I'll tell you about. One is Sabretooth. Another is Jessica Drew. And they all have their own little martial arts schools. It's pretty cool. But I really like this book. A lot of action. There's a lot of action in this book. The first 2 books were kind of setting things up. Now it's starting to get into the action part of the story. So, very good book. If you dig Shang-Chi, which I do, you dig like old martial arts movies, kung fu stuff, you'll like this book. And if you know anything about the Marvel Universe previous, then the little Easter eggs that they have all through it, you're gonna love. So, Master Kung Fu, great book. Very, very well worth the $3.99 cover price. All right. Now my next book, The Justice League of America. Okay, you got Brian Hitch, who's a fantastic artist. He's writing and drawing this book. Okay, which I was a little, I don't want to say put off by, but I was a little kind of like, okay, let's see what he does. Basically in this book, there's a little bit of aftermath from issue 1, which was very good. I really, really enjoyed it. This book, I don't know exactly where it's taking us. But if anybody's familiar with the Superman mythos, Ryo, I guess I'm pronouncing that, it's R-A-O, Ryo, the god of Krypton, the actual embodiment, this guy has shown up to Earth. And he's basically like, look, I screwed up on Krypton, I left, I came back to help them achieve another status of enlightenment and well-being, and they were gone. So he found Superman on Earth. He wants to give Earth the same thing. Now, we all know when things are too good to be true, they typically are. Superman has bought it hook, line, and sinker. He is like, something in me tells me that this is Ra-O. This is my God. I don't know what it is, but I believe him. And he's kind of like being the ambassador to the leaders of the nation, saying, hey, look, we need to follow this guy's lead. He did this for my Kryptonian family before. Well, there's another group that says, yeah, you're full of shit. And guess who's the head of that group? Batman. Batman's like, yeah, you didn't do such a good job last time. It blew up. Krypton exploded. Where was your omnipotent power then? So Batman's like he always is. He's being prepared for the worst. He doesn't know why, and he's thinking this guy could be the real deal, but chances are he's not. So, and you've got some key Justice League members still missing from the first issue. Wonder Woman, who we kind of, in a way, find out where she's been at in the last page of this book. I don't want to give that away. Flash, and I think there's maybe Shazam. It's like, where are they at? Nobody knows. So Batman's looking for them too. Like, they disappeared. Ra-O shows up. It's not a coincidence. He don't believe in that crap. So, Justice League, it's well drawn, and for the most part, it's well written. I will say that. If you're a Justice League fan and you don't buy any of the other books, you're a Batman, Superman fan, Wonder Woman fan, the Justice League is a good way to get your fix by keeping one book a month, okay? It's typically pretty good month in and month out. I will say that about the Justice League. All right, moving on. All right, Batman. Now, if you've been following the Batman series, Batman is supposedly gone. He's dead. So what this Gotham City has done is they kind of resurrected this, I say resurrected, they kind of created a division for the Batman. They realize how important the Batman is to Gotham City. Just to have that symbol, makes their job a little bit easier. So who better to be Batman? Commissioner Gordon. Now, I was really not digging this when I heard this was going to happen, but the last two issues have been really, really good. Gordon is in like this suit, that kind of makes him a little bit more impervious, because of course he didn't have the training that Batman has, but he's got the backing and the budget of Gotham City. So it's working for me. This book is working for me. Gordon is a great character. Snyder, Capullo, come on, guys. We all know this is going to go down as some of the best Batman writing artistry ever to the series, which, look at some of the greats. That's really, really saying something. So, Batman 41, or 42, I'm sorry, really good. It's just getting further into the character study of Jim Gordon being Batman, which is a nice take, nice switch up on things. I'm ready for Bruce to come back. Not a spoiler, but we may find out what happened to Bruce in this issue. Or maybe answers the question of, is he alive? Is he in this timeline? Is he dead? So this book kind of answers that question for you if you were wondering. All right. Now the next one, Deathstroke. The God Killer. Super, super awesome cover. Tony Daniel, he's a badass artist. I love him. And I just seen the Periscope where it said, open your mouth and eat the hearts. I don't know if I can get over to it or not. Let me see. Oh, there it is. I can't get it. Oh, there it is. All right. Back to Deathstroke, the God Killer. Deathstroke, one of my all-time favorite DC villains. I guess he's a villain, anti-hero, whatever you want to call him. I love him. His characters really went through some development. And if you're going to start getting Deathstroke, this was issue 7. If you're going to start reading from the get-go, there's some changes. I don't want to ruin it, but there's some changes to the character. They're working for me right now, but I hope it has a payoff at the end. I hope they just didn't do it for the reason I think they did it. But he's got this sword. It's badass. He's been contracted to kill basically a god. So they're like, well, to do this, you're going to need this sword, and you need to be proficient with it. So, the first part of the book is him getting proficient with this God Killer sword, and basically Deathstroke's not doing anything. The sword's doing it all. So, there's going to be some kind of reconciliation for this power in the end, I think. And at the end of the issue, we find out where Deathstroke has to go. So that kind of gives us the inclination of who he's going to have to take out. Because it's basically been a secret to everybody, even Deathstroke, because of the people that have employing him. So at the end, we have a guest appearance of somebody that Deathstroke's probably going to have to get down and nasty with. So really curious to see what that is. Tony Daniels' art's great. The story's pretty good so far. So if you're a big Deathstroke fan, you don't want to miss this, because just Tony Daniels' art alone is worth buying Deathstroke for, because the story is been pretty good so far. Moving on. All right. Jupiter's Circle. Now, this may be a book that a lot of you aren't familiar with. This is actually a prequel to Jupiter's Legacy that Mark Miller started several months ago. That Jupiter's Legacy I really, really liked. This is the conclusion of basically the prequel to Legacy with Jupiter's Circle. Basically, in a nutshell, it is, even back in the 50s, which are the ancestors, these superheroes are the ancestors to the superheroes in Jupiter's Legacy. They're messed up. They're flawed characters. They're human beings, just like you and I. They have vices. They make bad decisions. And it's kind of that character study of what makes a hero. Now, I'll be honest. Mark Miller is one of my favorite writers of all time. I've liked just about everything he's ever done. Jupiter's Circle was a great concept, but I think looking back at the whole issue run, which, this was issue 4, so 4 issues, it left me a little flat at the end. I was hoping the last issue was going to be a little bit more spectacular than it was. But the pencils are decent. The story's still pretty good, but, it may be a pass on, honestly. There's so much good stuff out there right now. For me to say pass on Mark Miller's an oddity. So don't ever get used to that, because I think that he's a genius. A lot of his stuff is great. But, this was a decent run. Let's just call it that. All right. Moving on. This was one of my favorite books of the week. Yep. Lando. And I love the cover. I mean, he's all kicked back, cool. Pimp Daddy Lando Calrissian. When I heard Marvel was doing a Lando Calrissian book, he's not one of my favorite characters in the Star Wars universe, but I'm like, do we even know much about him? He was cool with Han. I love Han. So friend of Han's a friend of mine. So Lando is like you think he would be, a smooth operator. The book starts out, he's basically romancing a woman that is considered, pretty badass by most of the people that she governs. I can't remember the exact nickname that they give her, but it's like something fiend. So she's pretty badass. Lando and her obviously have some kind of history in the past. Lando uses his charm and charisma to get close to her, because basically he needs something from her. He could have stolen it, but he doesn't. He basically tells her, I was going to steal this from you. And she's freaking out, we kind of know chicks do sometimes, right? Let's be honest. And he still gets it. And it's like, he still gets the item that he wanted. He told her he was going to steal it. She's got a gun to his head. Lando still comes out of it unscathed, with the item that he needed. So basically Lando's trying to pay off some debts. Where he thought he was going to kind of get back to even, he doesn't. So he has to do another job. He has to steal a ship that has some precious cargo. His employer just wants the ship. And he's like, basically, you can keep the cargo. The cargo is worth more than the ship, but I don't want it. He should have realized then that something was going down that he probably didn't want to be part of. But Lando takes it. He ends up stealing the ship that belongs to a very, very powerful person in the Star Wars universe. And it's not who you think it is. I know what you're thinking. I can see. I got the Matrix screen going on, and I can see you all think it's somebody pretty badass, but no, it's not him. It's somebody else. So really curious to see where this goes. Great artwork. I can't remember his first name. Soul. I think it's Dave Soul, John Soul, whatever. Really good writer. He's on this book. It's very much Lando Calrissian. He's captured the spirit of Lando Calrissian. I can see Billy D. Williams when he talks. I can hear Billy D. Williams' voice. So very, very good book. If you're a Star Wars fan, check this out. You're not going to be disappointed. All right. Oh, let's talk about this guy, Darth Vader, number 7. You guys know how I feel about this book. This and the Star Wars book are some of my favorite books every week. When I go into the comic shop and I see any of those books on the shelves, I'm like, yes, because they're so good. This book, the first 6 books have really shown Vader be sneaky, conniving, smarter than what I think most fans give him credit for, and ruthless. The Darth Vader we all know and love, ruthlessness. This book kind of dives into him even being craftier than we thought. Now, we know him and Palpatine have had some issues through this run. You know, Palpatine blames Vader for the Death Star being destroyed. So he wants the guy that did it, which we all know was Luke. So Vader's been hot on the heels. He even employed Boba Fett to go and find Luke. Boba Fett did that, in fact. The last issue, we had a nice little brawl. Or the last Star Wars issue, I'm sorry. The last Star Wars issue, a nice little brawl between Boba Fett and Luke. So this book is Vader going back to Obi-Wan's place and doing some forensic analysis. You know, he's got 2 droids and a doctor working with him, and he's basically doing a roundabout, a con technique on Palpatine. So it's really cool. And, I don't know. Is he going to get by with it? Palpatine's been on to him from get-go. When Vader thought he was being so sneaky in the first 6 issues, Palpatine knew what Vader was up to. So something tells me that Palpatine's going to know this too. But great book. Again, if you're a Star Wars fan, Star Wars and Darth Vader need to be your picks on your pull list every week. A pull list is something that comic shops use to keep your books each week. You can stop in once a month and just pick up all your books for the month. So you don't have to go every week. But those need to be on your pull list. Darth Vader, number 7, really good. All right. I got to speed this up. Groot. In a nutshell, if you ever wondered how Groot and Rocket met, this is your book. This is your book. This is what I'm going to tell you. Groot has talked Rocket into making a trip to Earth. Rocket's like, you're nuts. Why you want to go to that shithole? You know, but Rocket hates Earth. You know, he don't like space much. Why are we going? Groot talks him into it. Shenanigans happen. And now we're in issue 2. And Groot is basically, looking back on how he met Rocket and how their friendship evolved. Really good story. If you're a Groot Rocket fan like I am, you're going to want to read this. The series so far has been really good. If you read Rocket Raccoon series, this is very similar. It's just Groot. Groot's the main guy. Rocket's the side character. In Rocket's series, Rocket's the main guy. Groot's the side character. They do a very, very good job of explaining their origin story and how they get together. It's really cool. Groot number 2. If you're a Galaxy fan, it's a must-have. All right. Now, back to Battle World. The Korvac Saga, number 1. Now, true Avengers fans will know that Michael Korvac was one of the most dangerous villains to the Avengers, to the world that we've ever seen. He was basically an omniscient character. He had crazy, crazy power. Only through the mighty Avengers did they defeat him. Now, this is Battle World, so that Korvac is a little bit different. Our Avengers are a little bit different, and you have kind of a political struggle between Michael Korvac and Simon Wilson, Power Man. So, what's going to happen? I don't know. You've got another core of Avengers that have came in on Doom's authority to find out what's going on. You have the Guardians 3000, who are basically the police force for this domain and for Michael Korvac. I love the Guardians 3000. I wish Marvel's Avengers Alliance would incorporate these people. They're cool looking characters and they have great skill sets, like really different skill sets than a lot of superheroes do. So, it's the first issue. I like it. I'm going to continue to get it because I'm a big Guardians 3000 fan, and I can see a battle brewing between these Guardians and this domain's Avengers. So, really good stuff. Michael Korvac, #1. Now, a book that is really, really interesting to me is called Injection. Now, I am getting this book, but I would not recommend it to a new comic book person. For one thing is, I still don't know what the hell's going on. But the way it's written, and it's written by Warren Ellis, and if comic book fans will know, Warren Ellis, he's a kind of a mastermind, but it takes him several issues to get going. But once he gets going, you're glad you went along for the ride. That's the reason I bought Injection. And it's kind of a puzzle to me because I'm trying to piece together things. I really don't even know how to describe it. I can't even give it a book review yet. What I said I was going to do, I was going to read the first 6 issues, and then try to decipher what was going on and see if it was worth a purchase. The bad thing about somebody writing like this is there's so much good stuff out there right now. I may want to get something else other than Injection. Do you see what I'm saying? If you're a big Marvel fan, this is an Image book. No Marvel, no superheroes as of yet in this book. But there is magic. It looks like there's going to be some time travel. So it's pretty neat, but more to come on this. Okay. But Injection, it's in its 3rd issue. Stay tuned. I'll give an overview when I know more about it. Okay. Now, Age of Apocalypse, Battle World. The reason I'm so excited for this was the Age of Apocalypse was one of my favorite things back in the 90s. Joe Madureira was the artist on it. He killed it. Joe is one of my favorite artists. This guy, Geraldo Sandoval, it's so funny that they put him on this book. It's not by coincidence they put him on Age of Apocalypse because his style is very, very Joe Mad-like. But where I think Sandoval may be a little better than Joe Mad is his action sequences. He's a very hard-hitting, like a Joe Romita, was great drawing action sequences. This guy is like a Joe Mad, but with Romita's panache for action sequences. So this is a very, very well-drawn book, very, very well-written book. If you like the Age of Apocalypse in the 90s, you're going to love this. A lot of same characters. Some characters that were bad guys in that one are bad guys in this one. Some are not. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but this is very, very close to being the Nerdgazim pick of the week, this book right here. But I had to give it to this. So, drum roll. Where's my editor at? Where's my sound editor at? Oh, fuck, I don't have one of those. Okay. Civil War, #1, Battle World. All right. Now, we all know in the Battle World, domains of past timelines of the Marvel Universe have been condensed into one place. This is the place where Civil War ended differently than in our universe, the 616 universe. You've got the blue. It's divided by a huge crack in the earth, connected by a bridge that you actually have people live on, but I'm going to get to that. The blue is the Captain America side. You can do what you want. You're free. You got powers. You got abilities. They ask you just to be careful. Be trained. We'll train you if you want to, but you are your own person. Then you've got the Iron. Who's running that? Iron Man, Tony Stark. He's running the Iron. It's very militarized. It's just like the Registration Act would have been. If you have abilities, you better get your ass registered or we're going to put you down. And I say put you down, I mean like they're going to arrest you or something. They're going to punish you in some way. A lot of people defect to the blues. Some don't. Okay. But you have a choice. Now, where this book comes in is there's a woman. Her name's known throughout the Marvel Universe. She's D-list, if that, but she's very prominent in this world. She's respected. She's getting the two heads of the iron and the blue together. That she's like, let's talk this out. We can bring the two together again. Okay? As Steve and Tony meet, there's tension, there's banter, there's back talk, there's threats, and something happens. I'm not going to spoil it because I was like, oh, damn. One of the reasons this is the Nerdgazim pick of the week is because it made me do that. I actually did that. And one side's blaming the other. Now, it looks really, really bad for one side. I'm not going to say which one, but it's like, holy crap, this happened on your side. You're responsible. And we all know that this person isn't because we know this person. So somebody's in the background playing games, trying to maybe incite another war. And that's basically what's going to come down to. There's going to be another civil war. And there's going to be another great battle, I think. But maybe they're going to unite to defeat a common enemy, which, come on, that's classic comic book stuff. But very, very good pick. $4.99 for this book. You got Charles Soule. That was the guy that I was trying to think of. Charles Soule's on this. Lintel Francis Yu, who's got some crazy pencils. I haven't been a big fan of his in the past, but he's toned his style down a little bit, and I think it really works for him in this book. Characters are very recognizable. His action scenes are very good. So if you're a big fan of the first Civil War, which I was, it was one of my favorite Marvel big events, then you're going to dig it. Okay. That was the books for the week. All right. Now, I want to get to some Comic-Con talk. Comic-Con talk. All right. CDC stuff that dropped this week. The Walking Dead trailer for season 6. Holy crap. It really looks like Rick and Morgan are going to come to a head. It's so funny. It seemed like in the beginning they were very much the same person. And then mid-season, when we first seen Morgan again, he was like Rick times 20, like off the reservation. And then Rick kind of gets him back to neutral, I think. And now it looks like Rick has went times 20, and now Morgan's like, look, dude, we need to bring you back from this. And Rick ain't having it. He even says, I don't take the chances anymore. But Morgan replies, and you shouldn't. So, I'm super hyped for Walking Dead. One of my favorite TV series. But that dropped this week. Go to the Nerdgazim Hour Facebook page. I had that trailer up. And as a segue into that, we're talking about the new show that starts in August is Fear the Walking Dead. The whole new series. There's no comic book behind this or anything. That it looks like by the trailer that it is going to be right when the outbreak happens. When we first see Rick is in the hospital. I don't remember. I think was it 8 months? I think it was 8 months time or maybe a year that he was in a coma lying in the hospital. Maybe it wasn't that long. I don't remember, but it was some time had passed, obviously, because Shane and Lori had already basically wrote him off. Well, this takes place, maybe a little bit before and during the beginning days of the outbreak. So whole new cast. Our boy is on board with it. Not Hickman. I don't know. Hell, he's from Kentucky. I can't remember his name right now. But that guy he's on board as the executive producer. So he's going to do well on this series. Really, really hyped in August, man. So, man, we'll have this show to get us through to when October hits and The Walking Dead's back on. So awesome. Very, very good stuff from AMC coming up. And while I'm on AMC, I'm going to go ahead and jump down a little bit to, Into the Badlands. Into the Badlands. Me, like I said, being a big martial arts nerd, I am hyped to see this series. I don't know what kind of time frame it's in. I don't know if it's back in the feudal days of Japan or not, but it looks really, really cool. I can't wait. There's great martial arts. I believe his name's Donnie Hugh. You may correct me on that, but he was the Int Man. He's got serious martial arts chops. That's coming from ANC soon. So they're really, man, putting it together for us geeks and nerds. So my hat's off to AMC. Not literally, but figuratively, my hat's off to you. Okay. Now, all right. I'm going to get negative just for a second because I don't like the show to be negative, but I want to express my opinions and, it may not be yours and that's fine. But if you haven't seen it yet, the Suicide Squad pick, and I looked at it several times, and it looks like some guys cosplaying to me. It doesn't scream motion picture. I know Will Smith's in it, and the chick that got playing Harley Quinn is the bombshell, Smoke Bomb. She's hot. But, I mean, it doesn't grab me. When they showed me, and this segue into this, the Arrow's new suit, that's kind of like, it's classic Arrow costume, but it's kind of got like the Ra's al Ghul look to it. I loved it. And I was like, ooh, now that's a badass. I look at the Suicide Squad and I'm like, man, this looks campy as hell. So, I don't know. Prove me wrong, DC. I'm gonna go see it. I'll go opening day if I'm able, cause I want it to be a success. I mean, I want all this stuff to be a success, cause that just means more of it. So, but wasn't super impressed with the Suicide Squad. I wish they had leaked a trailer or something to maybe whet our appetite a little bit. But, and I think Will Smith looks goofy as Deadshot. Am I wrong here? I don't know. But I'm trying to keep an open mind with it. But my first impressions was not very good for the Suicide Squad. All right. Now, I know something that several of my viewers are going to like, the Deadpool leaked footage. I tell you what, man, this is, they're finally, movie studios are starting to listen to the fans. I think that's the whole reason Deadpool even got made was because of the fans were so feverish into getting this made. Ryan Reynolds has always been on board, which is super awesome because he seems like he's a big fan of Pool. And we're getting a rated R superhero flick. How many of us wanted a rated R Wolverine flick? Holy crap. You know, I mean, Deadpool, rated R. The footage that leaked where he blows that dude's head off. I mean, what little footage there was, that just gives you a look at how graphic it's going to be, how mature it's going to be. So, awesome, man. My hat's off to them. They're doing a great job. I was super stoked when I seen the Deadpool footage. So, big Ryan Reynolds fan, always have been since Van Wilder. So perfect fit, perfect casting. Let's get it done, man. Oh, and I'm a big Gina Carano fan too, because I think she's a smoke bomb. So I'm curious to see how they use her in the Deadpool movie. So let's hope for more stuff to drop to that soon. All right. I've already talked about the Arrow new suit. All right. The thing that had me hyped the most, and I mentioned it earlier in the opening of the show, Superman versus Batman. Dawn of Justice. This is the question that I was going to pose to everybody. What is the deal with the hate from the Man of Steel movie? I freaking loved the Man of Steel movie. Zack Snyder, has he made a bad movie yet? I went and seen Sucker Punch at the movies. I was 45 minutes in, and I had no idea what I was looking at. Like, I had no idea what the story was, and I didn't care. Visually, it was so striking, and just as an action fan and a fantasy fan, you loved it. And I thought, man, this is a guy that's doing Superman. This movie is a can't miss. And for me, it wasn't. The scenes with Kevin Costner, have you ever seen a actor in a more limited role, screen time wise? In every scene, he killed it. He tugged at your emotional heartstrings. He gave you a foundation of what Kent or Clark has grown up with. That movie was I couldn't have done it better. All my arguments have been in the other Superman movies other than screenplay there was no action. I want to see Superman being Superman. They leveled a city in this movie for us. And people were like, oh, it kind of went over the top of the action. Well, get out, leave the theater then, moron. Go watch Mad Men on AMC. Cause that's what fans want to see is Superman flying around, shooting I-beams, punching people. I mean, man, great movie, Man of Steel. I loved it. I'm so hyped for this movie. When Bruce is when he's running in to the, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, go to the Facebook page. I've got it on there. I've got the trailer on there. But when the building's coming down, he looks up and he sees Zod and Clark fighting, and evidently they take Wayne Tower down, and he's running into the debris cloud. I was like, oh shit, like everybody's running out, he's running in. As a firefighter, I kind of understood it. People say, well, people always run out when you're running in, and I never really got it before. But watching that scene, I'm like, holy shit, that's kind of what people think about us sometimes. Man, that's awesome, because I was like, oh crap. He runs in, he saves the girl, and the look on his face when he's looking up into the sky like, you motherfucker, I'm gonna get your ass. I was like, oh my God. Like, I think I had like sweat. I think I was like, a minute in, I had sweat running off of me. So, and then when he pulls the doors off and they stand up next to each other, man, I'm gonna tell you what. I've seen people on Facebook say, yeah, I seen the trailer. No, I'm not into it. That's your opinion. And that's great. But I feel sorry for you. I really do. I feel sorry for you because that was an iconic moment in cinema that hasn't even really happened yet. And it's coming to the screen, man. It's coming to the big screen. We're going to find out. Batman versus Superman. Is there a winner? And I watched the panel from Sdcc where Zack Snyder, he basically says, I made a movie about it. This is who wins. So, and it looks like Ben Affleck is going to direct and star in the next solo Batman picture from this movie. And he says, from the changes in this character from the Dawn of Justice, kind of leads into this movie. So, I'm going to take it that something big happens where it changes Batman's outlook indefinitely. Now, we all know that him and Superman, they're the light and the dark, but we all know in the comic world, they're very, very close. Very close. The Batman-Superman title that DC had a few years ago with Ed McGuinness on and Jeff Loeb, that was that was almost like a brother movie, man. Like, I loved how they captured they both respect each other's point of view so much. They love each other. And, that was really cool. So Batman versus Superman, Ed McGuinness, Jeff Loeb, that's a trade. Volume 1, it'd be Volume 1. Get that if you're interested because that was a super, super good trade. Very well written. And honestly, I can't say that about a lot of Jeff Loeb stuff. Sorry, I'm not a big fan, but he nailed it on that book. For me, he nailed it on that book. So, Batman versus Superman, it's a year away, man. It's March. Can I wait that long? I don't know if I can wait that long. Well, it's not almost a year, but it's close to a year. But man, March 25th, 2016, Batman vs. Superman. It's going to be awesome. All right. Now, got a lot of stuff to go through. It's 48 minutes. So I got basically 11 minutes. Okay. Terminator Genesis review. Now, I've seen the reviews on this. Rotten Tomatoes, I think, gave it like a 26%. Viewers wasn't much. I think it was a little higher, but not much higher. I liked it. I thought the story worked. I thought they set a the only way to continue this franchise is to somehow get away from the previous incarnations of the movie. They did that. Basically, with Sarah and Reese never having John, things have reset. So I thought that was pretty smart. Because time travel movies can get confusing. And I think a lot of writers, they count on that confusion to sell their idea. But I thought this was very well thought out, I should say. I thought the improvements to the T-1000 were really sharp. When he drops, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the movie, when he drops a little bit of this metal tech into the OT-800 and he repairs himself, I thought that was really cool. The whole use of a tracking device, I thought that was really neat. The one thing that I didn't like, and his name escapes me, the actor that played Kyle Reese. This guy is a great look, and he was in a couple other movies. He's done several movies. He was in I, Frankenstein. He was one of the Gargoyle Warriors. Blonde hair, big guy. He's got a great look on screen, which is how he gets work, because it ain't his acting. It's a very, a friend of mine called it a wooden performance, and I would agree. I would use the word hollow performance. Like, I just never really bought into him, but he's got a super look. I think he would make an awesome Captain Britain for Marvel if they ever used that character. But he would, he's got the blonde hair, and he's big, and he's kind of ripped up. So, but just acting wise, it kind of left me wanting more. Our girl that plays Daenerys Targaryen on Game of Thrones, I think she's smoking hot as a brunette. I thought she did a great job. She's not Linda Hamilton, Sarah Connor, like just jacked up and just warrior. But she's a different incarnation of Sarah Connor, so maybe she wouldn't be now. So I liked it. I liked the movie. I thought the action was great. Thought the CGI was really, really good. The story was good. I don't understand why people were hating on it so much. Probably things that I overlooked or just didn't care about that much, really. But the one thing I didn't like was in the story about how she kind of gave up on John at the end. Like maybe we shouldn't have John. That's her son, but yet she hasn't had John yet. So, you know what I mean? Keep driving yourself nuts thinking about the time travel aspect. Terminator Genesis, I really liked it. If you've seen the movie, tell me what you thought about it. Tell me if you agree, disagree. I'm open to all things. You may send me something and go, man, that was stupid because I'll be like, shit, you're right. I didn't think about it. It's kind of like when Amy Farrah Fowler and Sheldon, he has her watch the Raiders of the Lost Ark, and she's like, yeah, it was okay, but the main character had nothing to do with the ending of the movie. And she kind of ruined it for Sheldon and them, ruined it all for them because she was right. So that was a very good point that Sheldon never thought of. So if you give me a point that I can't argue like that, and I'm like, that movie was terrible, I'll give you a shout out on the show, and I'll say I was totally wrong. This blows it, but I liked it. Terminator Genesis. Okay, now some MMA news. We have a PvP that's still going on. Spider-Man Noir, which kudos to Playdom for bringing a character like Spider-Man Noir to MMA. And it looks like his skill set's going to be a lot different than other heroes. So kudos to you guys on that. Now I'm going to take your kudos right back because of all the CVE forced refreshes that you're having on PvP. Man, really need to get that stuff lined out. There's so many other good games, just like comic books, just like TV, just like movies. There's so much good stuff now. Why would I waste my time playing a game that keeps force refreshing, keeps giving me losses when they should have been wins, blah, blah, blah. Make it a good experience because that's the only thing that people's time and money is too valuable to fuck around with bullshit. There, I said it. Epic Boss McFall always says, be nice till it's time not to be nice. I've been very, patient with Playdom. I still play. I'm still going to continue to play, but there are issues that they really, really need to work out for the community as a whole because we need new players. New players is the lifeblood of any game. Once that ceases, we're on a clock. We're on a doomsday clock. If they can't get new players in this game, and with stuff like that, you can't get new players in the game. But there is a Ant-Man spec ops that drops to culminate the release of the movie next week, which I am going on Friday. I wasn't going on Thursday, but I can't. So we're going on a Friday, and I'll have a complete review of the Ant-Man movie. The pre-reviews that I've seen that people have already screened the movie are excellent, and I'm so happy because I was so worried about the Ant-Man movie. I mean, can I buy Paul Rudd as a superhero? Maybe not, but I can buy him as Scott Lang because if everybody knows Scott Lang from the comic books, he's kind of like your reluctant hero. He kind of gets thrust in, he takes an opportunity that was presented to him, and So it's going to work. It sounds like it's already working. I'm really, really glad for Marvel on this movie because they took a chance, just like with Guardians and blew Guardians out of the water. It sounds like they've done the same thing with Ant-Man. So there is a Spec Ops where Ant-Man's Scott Lang character is the reward. I'm on my first research because of the distress call thing. Some people had some issues with it. I had one as well. So I'm a little behind on that. I'm usually pretty close to being done by now, to be honest. But I'm taking my time with this one. No, there's no hurry. It's a month-long thing. So PvP. All right. PvP. I belong to a couple Facebook groups, and I cannot stand it when in Marvel Avengers Alliance, in that group, somebody posts a green number in PvP, which is your wins. It's 1,465. Okay? Which is bullshit, but whatever. And people go, oh man, congratulations. What team are you using? Oh, I can't tell you that. Fuck that. The only reason to be part of a group is to help one another. Alright? So right now, I'm gonna tell you, I've been coming into green numbers almost every day. Yesterday, I almost didn't. I came into a green +1. And damn it, I'll take that green +1 and I'll run with it. Now, I'm using a Pestilence Beast, Tactician, Enchantress, Infiltrator. I have them with my agent with the Empowered Tac Suit, the Hot Shot, Hugin's Eye, the Cube, and the Signpost. That's my shit. I gemmed them up with all stalwarts because of the PvP bonuses. I really don't need evasion. I really don't need what's the other one? Stamina. I really don't need those because a lot of PvP matches are over in a couple rounds. So I've stocked them up. I got pretty high defense on them. So my armory's decent and I'm doing okay. I'm doing just 5 a day and I'm sitting in low vibranium. So let's just hope I stay there. I might try to push for adamantium. I've never been adamantium, but I've never not been vibranium since I started playing the game. So there's my setup. If you're having trouble with your setup, try that setup. If you have those items, the Hot Shot, Hugin's Eye, which means I can't unarmed hit you, the Signpost, the Cube. Try that with Pest and Enchantress. I hope that helps you. And for somebody that won't help you, fuck them, man. That's bullshit. We should be here to help each other. That's the reason you're part of a Facebook group. All right. There's my rant on that. Good luck. All right. Game I want to talk about briefly. I've only got a few more minutes left before the hour's up. Marvel's Future Fight. I've been playing it since it was available to us. I played it a lot in the beginning. And then I kind of got away from it because I was like, I really don't understand it. I just didn't take the time. Now I'm really getting into it. They have an autoplay ability, which makes farming incredible. It's so nice. I can put my good team in and just let them go, and I can get gold and stuff to level up my guys. There's a lot of that I still don't understand, like the ISO stuff. I'm still learning. I'm playing in the arena now, which, I get chaos coins. There's a lot to it, and they just added, like a simulator room. I think that's what they're calling it, where you can make like a material to buy other stuff. A lot of stuff going on in Future Fight. The graphics are great. It plays like a tabletop. If I can explain it to anything, it's like you went to an arcade and put in a quarter and you go linear and you go from match to match and you fight big boss and you got a team of 3. It's really, really cool. It's free. You can get a lot of stuff for free. You can also buy stuff, which is cool. But, if you don't have to. I haven't bought anything yet, and I've got Red Hulk and, some other people, by collecting crystals and seeing they have a sale every 30 minutes, which is really cool. Check it out. Get on the wiki. There's some Facebook groups for Future Fight. I'm a part of one. It's really cool. Get on there. I think Kaiser Allen is the admin on that, group as well. He'll let you in. But, post your questions. We're there to help. Future Fight has been really good. Talking about that, I got 30 seconds left. I want to give a shout out to the From the Helicarrier guys. I would have probably stopped playing Facebook, Marvel's Avengers Alliance a long time ago if it hadn't been for their show, their podcast. So from the Helicarrier, those guys do an excellent job of keeping you informed of problems that they're having, of things that they like, things that can help. They have a Patreon group as well. So there's another resource for you if you want to get involved in Marvel's Avengers Alliance. So, but with that, I'm almost out of time. Guys, thank you. Periscope brothers, thank you. I don't have time tonight for a question and answer session. I really want to do that soon. But with today being such a big week with Comic-Con stuff going on, I really don't have time to do it. So, guys, if you made it to this far, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you. You're family now. You're Nerdgazim family. And like I said, if I ever go to Comic-Con and have a booth, you guys are coming with me. We're going to be like the Entourage on HBO. All right? So with that, thank you very much. I'll see you guys. For the Periscope viewers, stay on, please. I'm not done yet with you. So again, next Friday at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, the Nerdgazim Hour will come at you live. All right, guys. Again, thank you. And Nerdgazim out. Peace.